Hey there guys, how's it going? Real quickly, before I get into today's video, as you can see behind me, a few things have happened since I last recorded. Now, I real quickly want to point out, today's episode was actually supposed to involve fueling up and gathering resources for the Enterprise. You see, the problem is, the footage actually got corrupted. To sum things up, I pretty much moved the Enterprise from over there to over there, connected it up to the base so it can fuel up full of hydrogen. I also built a shuttle for the Enterprise and gathered more materials like uranium. And that basically sums up what episode 9 was supposed to be. But like I said before, the footage got corrupted. So episode 9 is actually going to be us going to the Earth-like planet, which I think is going to be quite interesting. And the way this is going to work is we are going to detach the Enterprise, make sure we have enough stuff to get to the Earth-like planet, and collect a bunch of resources, or at least enough resources to get us from the Earth-like planet to that planet over there, which I think is Mars, but I could be wrong on that one. So after the Earth-like planet, we are going to go to Mars. Obviously not in the same video. This video is going to be focused on us getting to the Earth-like planet and maybe setting up a base if I have time. That's kind of the plan for today's video, guys. Let's get into it. So, the Enterprise is actually already full of hydrogen. As you can see there, we have about 44% of the hydrogen tanks filled up. So, that's pretty good. And we also have crafted a bunch of ammo and stuff for the guns on the Enterprise, as well as more uranium ingots for the reactor, so safe to say we'll be pretty good for a while here. Anyways, guys, so I think right now I'm just going to make sure I have everything sorted, and then we'll leave for the Earth-like planet. So I'll cut back to when everything is sorted. Alright guys, so I just double checked here and I think we got everything all crafted and transferred over to the Enterprise here. Also, the jump drive I have not fully built yet. I don't have enough gold, so that is definitely something I want to get done on the Earth-like planet when we get there. Let's disconnect from the base here and see if anything happens. I hope nothing bad happens. I hope we just float. And we are now disconnected and we are floating. Would you look at that, guys? We are not dead. That is a great sign. One thing I am going to do though is I am going to turn on the reactor there. I noticed it was off, so now it's on. Alright, so now if we just slowly make our way up into the atmosphere, or out of the atmosphere I should say, to the Earth-like planet. Quickly just save here, make sure everything goes well. Alright guys, looks like we are almost out of the atmosphere. And we are now out of the the gravity of the moon, not atmosphere, gravity. And so now if we just keep heading in this direction, making sure to turn off our reverse thrusters to save on gas. And there we go, we are now coasting slowly to the Earth-like planet. And you know what, guys, this is going to take forever. This is going to take a while. So, here's what I'm going to do. Since I kind of like time lapses, I am going to, guess what, do another time lapse of me traveling to the Earth-like planet. So that's kind of the plan for right now, guys. I will update you when we actually get into the Earth-like planet's orbit, or like gravity field, I guess you would call it. So yeah, I'll update you when that happens. Other than that, enjoy this time lapse. Alright guys, as you can see here, we are now in the Earth-like planet's gravity now. That actually didn't take too long, that only took about a few minutes. Weirdly enough, I thought it would take at least maybe 15-20 minutes, but I guess not. Well, it's probably going to take us another 10 minutes just to get down to the Earth, but whatever. Enjoy this other time-lapse of me getting down to Earth now. Alrighty here, it looks like we're getting close to the planet now. So I think we have to now find like a good landing zone here. So we just turn on our HUD again. I think I want to land somewhere nice and flat so we can lay out the Enterprise really nicely. Looks like a lot of mountainous terrain here, but that shouldn't be too big a problem. I think right there is a good spot to land. Like right there where I'm pointing, I think that'll be a good spot to land. It looks nice and flat and pretty centralized to the area. So I think I'm gonna set the Enterprise down nice and gently over there. So if I just kick on my reverse thrusters here, we can now slowly go in for the landing. And we have landed. Well, more or less, I mean, we have technically landed. As you can see here, guys, we have landed. So, I think the plan for right now is to build up a bit of a base here. Somewhere around here should be fine. And actually, I think I made a few extra iron plates here. So if I just go get some of that, like that, we can just go and find a nice place to set up shop here temporarily, collect some materials, and then go to Mars. At least I think that planet was Mars. I'm not entirely sure though. Alright here guys, so I think this top part here would be really nice for a base. So if we just go ahead and rotate that, just like that. And yeah, I think this would be a really nice spot to put a base. Guys, I actually have a better idea. Instead of building a base, we're actually just going to use the Enterprise, because the Enterprise is already in itself its own portable base. It has a fully decked out refinery and assembler. So I think we're just going to use the Enterprise and just create a nice landing area for it. So I'm just going to get to work on that here, and I'll cut back to when that's done. Alright guys, so I just kind of set up this little landing area here for the Enterprise. Nothing too special, just kind of big enough for it to land on. And then from there, I think I'm going to actually take out the shuttle and see what materials are nearby. But before we do that, let's go and take the Enterprise and park it here real quick. Alright guys, just landed the Enterprise here, and that kind of worked the way I thought it was going to. So now we are nice and landed here, but well, I mean kind of. I guess technically it's touching the ground. Alright guys, from here I'm actually going to now take the shuttle, the Enterprise shuttle here, and go and look for some materials that are around here. Kind of see if there's any useful materials we could get to refine and stuff that we may need in the future. So real quickly, let's just open up the doors in the front here and go get it out. Also, I don't think I explained Enterprise shuttle very good to you guys. So real quickly, just a quick summary of what I have going on here. So I have 2 drills, 2 guns. I have a survival kit there to refine stone or to respawn if needed. 2 large batteries, a large hydrogen tank, a large cargo container, enough thrusters for it to work in an atmosphere, and enough ejectors to eject more stone than it can collect, which is good. Alright guys, we are now fully recharged and full of hydrogen now. I believe we are now all ready to go. So let's just disconnect from the platform here. Or from the Enterprise, I should say, and just slowly make our way out of the Enterprise. And go out, turn on our ore detector, which we should put on the hotbar, I believe. So if we just go into the G menu here that I have opened up and get the ore detector, place block on and off, turn it on here, and it looks like we have already got some ice and silicone around the area, which is good. Actually, real quickly, what is the range on the ore detector? So I have a ore detector mod on here that extends the range. So instead of it being 125, it's 250, just to make my life a bit easier when looking for materials here. So yeah, let's see what kind of materials we find around the Enterprise here. Alright here guys, first material here that is actually worth a little bit of something. We found magnesium, which is quite interesting actually. I'm not sure if we are going to need it though, I'll keep that in mind. I'll definitely mark it down, and yeah, so let's keep looking. Alright guys, looks like we found some other good finds here. We found cobalt, iron, and I did see gold here a second. There we go. So we also got some gold here. Now I am going to see if I can get down to the gold here guys, just because we are going to need a ton of gold to construct the jump drive here. Yeah, I'll cut back to when I either get to the gold, give up, or something else happens guys. So I'll get back to you when that's done guys. Alright guys, got down to the gold here, and we actually mined through a ton of cobalt here as you can see. So that's also really good to keep in mind here if we need a ton of cobalt. Anyway guys, so I am going to mine up some gold, not all of it, because we don't have a lot of thrust here. I am going to collect some gold and go back to the Enterprise. So you know what guys, I will cut back to you when I get all the gold. Alright guys, so I collected as much gold as I could. So I collected about 14,000 gold here, which I think should be, well, I don't think it's going to be enough, but it's definitely going to help us with building the jump drive. And I did mark a location if we do really need to get more. So I think what we'll do now is just slowly and carefully make our way up here. I'll cut back to when I make it back to the Enterprise with the gold. Alrighty here, we just docked back at the Enterprise here. So if we actually just get out here and close the door, I added this button here to close the door here. And also I just want to point out, look at how well I crafted the shuttle here. Look at how well that fits in there. Like there is zero room for play there, if you know what I mean. I am quite proud of myself with this shuttle. So if we just open that up again, we can close it in the bridge so it's all right there. So if we just go to here, and button panel here, so I have a hot button here to close it there. All good and stuff there. So if we just go into here, make sure that the gold is being refined properly. There you go, you can see the gold in the large cargo container, but if we go down to the refinery here, we can now put the gold ahead of the uranium. Because we have enough for uranium as it is, so we don't really need more uranium, we should make some more gold. And yeah, so now the second thing that I want to get done here is actually refuel the Enterprise's hydrogen, because it did lose about, I think, 3 or 4% trying to get here, even more. So I do want this thing to be at least half full of hydrogen before we get to Mars, or before we leave for Mars. So I think what I'm going to do is, since we have a ton of snow around us, I am going to take the shuttle here and just do a bunch of trips back and forth unloading ice. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the next few minutes here. And yeah, so I'll cut back to when I have collected a ton of ice, or if anything else interesting happens, or if I need to do something else here, guys. Alright guys, just came back from my first load of ice, and I've learned that the ship does not have enough thrust to work on the Earth-like planet. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a few atmospheric thrusters around the ship, just to kind of help it when lifting things, or when under load I should say. So yeah, I'm gonna do that right now actually. If we, actually I think I have some metal plates on me somewhere. If I just go into here, yeah, I've got some metal plates. So here guys, I'm going to kind of actually explain to you where I want to place all these atmospheric thrusters. And it's just going to be the regular kind of atmospheric thrusters, just because they give out more lift and stuff. So I think where I want to place some of these thrusters is I am definitely going to want to place a couple on the side here facing down, so we can, you know, have some down thrust. So if we just do the same thing on the other side, kind of like that. And then I also want some more backwards facing thrust, so if we need to come out of like a large hole or something when we're bore mining, we can actually, you know, lift ourselves out of that hole. So if we just go ahead, place the thrusters on kind of like that, maybe add another 2 there just to really make sure we have enough thrust. You know what, actually, let's go a little bit crazy here. Let's go with another thruster right there. So there we go. That is a total of, what is that? So we have 7 thrusters in total. I only have 3 on that side because I want to be able to access the terminal over here. So that's why I only have 3 on this side. Anyway, I think I should also have maybe a couple facing backwards. Or facing, yeah, backwards here. Give us some more forward thrust. And then on top here, I'll have a couple facing the right and left directions there too, just to give us that extra bit of thrust in those areas as well. And alright guys, tell you what, I'll cut back to when these are all welded up. Alrighty here, so I just finished welding up all the thrusters here. So as you can see, I moved 2 of the thrusters, the forward facing thrusters, on the bottom here, just because I thought the 2 on top of here would get in the way. So I just moved them onto the bottom there. And as you can see, I think we have enough thrusters now to properly do some mining. So I am now going to go back out and see if it works properly, and I'll let you know if it works properly or not. Alrighty here, so I just came back from a few loads of ice. I think we got enough ice here to last us not a long time. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't a lot of ice. As good as the Enterprise shuttle is, it does not hold a lot of ice. Like, we already are down to 14,000 here. Well, let's see, how much fuller is our thing? Didn't really fill up too much, 40% still. So, alrighty here guys, so I think I am going to end the video here, because I am a bit pressed for time. Next episode though, actually I was thinking about it, and next episode, I might build like a little temporary base with a small atmospheric miner and a hydrogen tank, just so we can refine a bunch of hydrogen really quickly. So that's kind of the plan for next video. At least that's my plan for next video. And yeah guys, thank you for watching. If you could please like and subscribe, it really does help out the channel. And yeah, thank you for watching my video guys. See you in the next video. Bye.